I'm Alastair Hendy and welcome to my home. Each week on No Meat Required, I'm going to be cooking some great tasting food with all the wonderful flavours, textures and colours of fresh vegetables and fruit. I'm also going to have great fun in showing you how easy it is to cook good food without meat. I have a guest cook on my programme too, and they'll be showing me and you one of their favourite meat-free dishes. But more about my guests later. In the meantime, I'm going to get down to the kitchen and do some cooking. Today I'm cooking soups, and this is the first one, which is Caldo Verde with garlic dough balls. Now, Caldo Verde is a Portuguese soup made from potatoes and cabbage. Now, cabbage may not sound much fun in a soup, and you may not like the idea of cabbage at all, but cabbage can be very sweet and nourishing and have a wonderful flavour. Now, this one here I have here is a Savoy. This has really sweet leaves. We've got a pointed cabbage or spring greens. You could use any of these, or actually you could use Cavola Nero, which I don't have because it's out of season at the moment. When it's in season, it's a black, long, shuttlecock-shaped cabbage, which is great in this soup too. So we're going to use the Savoy, but I'm going to start off by making the stock. So we take some potatoes and just slice them roughly, like so. Put them in a pan. This is a really simple soup to make, and it really plays on the lovely, simple flavours of potato and cabbage. We get all the flavours coming into it with some herbs, which I'll show you in a minute, and some garlic, olive oil, of course, which is an essential ingredient in the soup. And we're going to pop in a stock cube as well. It's a vegetable stock cube, which will dissolve when the water gets hot. So what we're going to do is parsley, thyme, and some bay. So we just take a little bit of parsley and some thyme and some bay. Nice big bundles of herbs here. Essential to all cooking, I always think. And then just tie those together, because you don't really want to, you want to fish this out after it's finished cooking and get rid of all the stems. So just tie that tightly. A nice generous, what we call a bouquet garni of herbs. Some garlic, about 3 peeled cloves. Good bit of salt. And a good old slosh of the olive oil. And in there we've got some wonderful, lovely ingredients. And I'm going to put about 1.5 litres of water in there and get it on the boil. So in with the water. And what I've done already is I've actually got one made and cooked. So put that on the stove. And here is one that I made earlier. So it's lovely. It's got all the flavours of the herbs and the garlic in there. The potatoes are beautifully soft, and I've used floury potatoes, which are essential for this dish. So we'll leave that. We'll take this one. Obviously, I've fished out the bouquet garni, and we're going to mash that just roughly. Mash it, and I'm going to get my cabbage on. Now, the cabbage only needs a very brief cooking. As I say, you really want to keep the flavour and the colour in the cabbage, because actually cabbage is a really beautiful thing. There's no point cooking it for ages so there isn't a vestige of chlorophyll left in it. It's like something that dinner ladies might have given you once at school, and we've gone well beyond that now. So we take our cabbage. Outer leaves are fine. In fact, the outer leaves are the best things to use for this soup. So we're just going to take out the central rib. You don't want that. It's slightly tough, because we're only going to be blanching it for a minute in some salted boiling water. Just roughly chopped, like so. And I have a pan of salted boiling water on the go, which we're going to chuck that in, turn the heat up, just get that nicely blanched. As I say, it only needs about a minute. So we just get that underway, and I'll explain the garlic dough balls. Now, the garlic dough balls I've made actually with just a very ordinary packet pizza base, or you could use it with a bread dough base. And it comes like this. You leave it to warm through. All you do is you mix it with water, the mixture, a bit of olive oil to give it a bit more flavour, let it rise, knock it back, just like so. Knock it well back down, punch it in. We can take that out of there. So really work that back in, and then shape it into some little balls like so. Nice little balls like that. And then just let them rise just a little, lay them out on a tray, and then just slash them down with a knife, like that. And then leave them to rise. Now these have been rising for a while, and what I've done is I'm going to sprinkle them with some semolina flour to give them a nice, slightly lovely little texture. And I've got some butter with some garlic infused. You just brush all that over, and then you put those in the oven. But actually I've got some already made here. They've been in, they've beautifully risen, they're still lovely and soft and warm. We're going to finish them off with a little more butter, just to give them a lovely garlic buttery flavour. And my cabbage is now ready, and I'm going to whiz that out. So they're ready. So just a minute, as I say, to keep all the colour in. Get that out. Look at that, you see? Beautiful. So let that strain and put this into the soup now. So we're just going to mash that up a little bit more. Now you could use a processor if you want it smoother. And always taste things as well as you cook. That's lovely. It's lovely. It's so simple, very humble, very gutsy, peasanty food. So we're just going to mix the cabbage in, stir it around a little bit. And that's just delicious. And I'm going to serve that up in my bowls, which I have on one side here. Really easy soup to make and really lovely when the weather's cold. It's just the sort of thing you want to come home to after a long walk in. I need a ladle, which I think left behind me. So we're going to ladle that into the bowl. Like so. And I've left a little bit of cabbage just to finish it off, which I haven't put in the pan, which makes it look nice too. So we just pop all that in. What a lovely soup. Just finish off with a few pieces that you left out. That's absolutely fabulous. Like so. And again, we serve that with the dough balls, which I have over here. So we'll just take a few of those and pop them alongside. So you can dunk these in the soup as you eat. They're really delicious. Go beautifully with it. And there we have it, Caldo Verde with garlic dough balls. See you after the break, when I'll be making tomato and red pepper soup with smoked paprika aubergine croutons, and I'll also be joined by Tom Conran. Welcome back. My guest today comes from a food, fashion and design dynasty. He is the son of Sir Terence and Lady Caroline Conran. Tom has run his delicatessen Tom's for the past 10 years. A few years ago, he added to his empire a gastro pub, The Cow in Notting Hill. Like his father's restaurants, it has become a notable success, recently winning him the Evening Standard's Millennium Pub of the Year award. Hi Tom, great to see you.
How are you?
How are you doing?
Great.
What are you going to be cooking?
I'm making a chowder today.
Great.
And it's a sweet corn and green chilli chowder.
Okay, that's slightly unusual to a normal chowder, which is got fish and bacon and things in it, but
yeah.
But the potato is the common denominator.
Well,
I suppose.
Essentially, a chowder is a pretty sort of rough, chopped up, robust kind
rustic
of
peasant
soup
food
with potatoes,
right.
And unless it's a Manhattan chowder,
okay.
Then it has milk in it as well.
Right, Manhattan chowder. Right, okay, smart. Let me do something for you. What would you like me to chop?
Could you potatoes? Chop some onions and some potatoes?
Okay.
Peel some potatoes.
All right
for
then,
us.
I'll get on with that.
And I'm going to chop up some aromatic vegetables, carrots and celery. I'm going to chop some coriander root, which gives a very good coriander tang to the dish.
Right.
And then add some spices. And so basically I'm laying the foundation of the dish and putting the sort of...
What's nice is you're going to use the coriander leaves at the end. You're getting the roots in at the beginning, so we get the whole coriander sort of flavours in there.
Yeah, if you can find coriander with roots on, it's by far the best because the roots have so much flavour, and if you put them in the beginning of a dish, it really adds depth to the whole thing.
It's like in Thai food and in Southeast Asia, they use coriander roots a lot as well, don't they?
Yeah, and
So
also you can keep the coriander much longer if you put it in the water.
Right.
So
Okay. How many potatoes do you want?
I'd like 4 potatoes, please.
Okay.
And then diced into about a centimetre dice.
I shall do that.
Okay.
Perfect, right. Diced into a centimetre.
Thank you.
That's a proper chef speak, isn't it, really? Diced.
And I'm just taking off the stringy bits of the celery, which can sort of get stuck in your teeth a bit. So.
But you trained as a chef, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I worked with Alastair Little, and I worked in Langan's Brasserie in the 80s, a long time ago.
Right.
And I always try and sort of stay involved with cooking because that's really the creative side of my business. And really, that's where my passion is.
Right, which is why you opened up the Cow, which serves wonderful food, and it's a pub at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, there were a lot of restaurants that were opening up, and I think, you know, pubs offer the possibility of having a great sort of informal space, you know, where you could prepare pretty informal but fresh food, and
which
I
is
think
why
it's so much part of our culture as well, you know.
I mean, it's all part of this whole thing, isn't it? Vegetables actually are just as important just as meat. And it's so wonderful to make a dish without meat in it, with all these fantastic things that we have here. What are you going to do with the chilli?
I've got 4 chilies for this dish, and 2 of them I put in the beginning, and 2 go in right at the end to add colour and texture to the dish.
Should we get this cooking? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's get that on.
So what are you doing here then? You're going to sort of sweat it or saute it?
Yeah, I've sweated off some onions in here already with a little bit of sunflower oil and some butter.
Right.
And now I'm adding these.
Okay.
And they need to sweat for another 3 to 4 minutes.
And coriander root, of course.
Coriander root, chilies, and I'm going to put my spices in.
Right.
I'm putting paprika, and I'm using a little bit of this palm sugar, which you can buy in Oriental supermarkets.
Okay, I'll stir this for you a second.
If you don't have this, normal brown sugar would do. But you just need a little bit of this shaved off. About a teaspoonful. This is it's got a wonderful flavour actually. It's really sort of...
It's been sweating a little bit. Can I add some to your stock? Is that what we do next?
Yes. I need a pint and a half of vegetable stock.
Okay. Shall I do that for you?
Yeah, if you don't mind. And that's fresh vegetable stock, but you can use a vegetable stock cube or that Swiss vegetable bouillon that you can buy, which is really good.
It looks like I can smell that vegetable stock. It's a good one.
So you bring that up to a boil, and you simmer it for a further 7 minutes.
And then potatoes in?
No, we've got to put the corn in.
Yeah, corn.
First, and let that cook off for a little bit.
Okay.
And then the potatoes will go in a further 4 minutes. When these are cooked, when they're basically firm, but not overcooked, then you add the milk. And bring that up again to close to a boil, not a full boil.
So I think we better get on to this one here, which has got the milk and everything in cooked.
No, the milk's to go in this one.
Oh, the milk's to go in that one. Right. There's your milk.
So here's the milk.
Right. And of course you put some salt and pepper in.
I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in at this stage, and I can always adjust it later to taste. So I'm putting another pint and a half of milk in there. That's the same amount as the vegetable stock.
It's got, I can already smell good things from there, and the sweet corn actually is a brilliant colour.
Okay, the potatoes are cooked now.
Okay.
And so we're ready to puree half the soup.
Smell. God, that really smells really good. I can smell the coriander, actually. It's really strong. It's lovely.
It's quite sort of robust flavours.
It's lovely. So we're going to spoon that into here. Oh, sorry, ladle it into here. Let's spoon it.
I'm ladling half the soup in now. This adds body to the soup, so you've got and texture.
Okay.
So
shall I put it on?
Puree that now. Should be okay.
It's got hot.
Okay. Let's bung that back in. Looking good.
Here's your bowl.
Okay. I have to just finish it
Oh yeah, bit of cream.
briefly on the stove. I'm adding a splash of cream and some chopped chilli.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alastair. And some coriander leaves.
Okay.
Do you mind just chopping a few of those?
Do you want them roughly chopped or just tall?
Yeah, just roughly chopped, be great. Stir that around.
Okay, so I just whack that in there, yeah?
Bung them in.
Okay.
Lovely. And
How's it taste?
it's really good.
Good.
Doesn't need anything more.
Great.
Okay, so it's ready to go. Just pour it straight into the bowl.
It's a lovely colour, actually. Wonderful. Great. It's a brimming bowl full.
It's ready to serve.
Great, that looks
There you
absolutely
are.
fabulous. And I'm nicely splattered too. Thank you for
Okay,
that, Tom.
It's a pleasure.
So we have here your...
That's my sweet corn and green chili chowder.
That's absolutely fantastic, thank you. Final thing I'm going to make today to continue with our soup theme is a tomato and red pepper soup with a smoked paprika aubergine croutons. And Tom, you're still with me to help, that's great. So I'm going to get you straight on the case and I'd like you to chop those tomatoes in 30 seconds. Thanks.
Okay.
Now I'm going to fry off some onion here, which I've chopped, and add some garlic. That's going to go straight into this pan. And what I've also got already on the cooked, to save a little bit of time, is our red peppers, which have been roasted in the oven for about 20 minutes. This is just to soften them down, and so you can peel the skins off, which really come off quite easily. A quick way of doing it is to put it in a plastic bag, although they will just pull off quite simply. And what I've got here is some already done, which I'm going to pop in with the onions, which are just doing well. I'll just put a little bit of seasoning in here, a bit of salt, and a little pinch of sugar, the peppers. Just get those going. And our tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Fantastic.
Ready.
Yeah, you're right.
There you are.
That was brilliant. I didn't think you'd do that in 30 seconds, but so in
Practice.
that goes. All over the stove, but never mind. I'll pick the odd ones up. That's it. So those are going to like bubble down and cook through. And then when those have cooked down, we're going to add 400 ml of water. But I already have one pot ready made here. Now what's happened here is this is cooked right down and been sieved. So you sieve it all the way through when everything's soft. That's just got a wonderful, vibrant, sunny colour. This looks good, doesn't it?
Just like Heinz.
You've got to say that, really, haven't you? And to serve that, I'm going to use my aubergine. I'm going to make some quick croutons. Just little squares, like so. A few more, which I'm just going to quickly fry and dust them with a bit of smoked paprika, which I have here, which is a Spanish one, which gives it a lovely smoky flavour. Thanks, Tom, for stirring that. Just dust those over, a good old dust, and into the fat. If I can just come in front of you there.
Sure.
Just going to pop these in and fry them. This is just a little bit of olive oil. It's quite hot, so it should seal the aubergine a little bit so it doesn't absorb too much fat. So I'm just going to pour this into here. We'll do 2 servings, so you can have a bit too.
Oh, thank you. Looks delicious.
And just finish off with these little croutons of pepper. Sorry, not pepper, what am I saying? Aubergine. So be careful because they are hot. So I'm just going to get them out on the board here. That's the good thing with having a steel top table, you can put a hot pan on it and it doesn't matter.
So this is a very quick soup, isn't it?
Well, it's quick. That'll take a good 40 minutes once you put the water in. You should leave it on a good 40 minutes to bubble down, but I've had to do things a little bit quicker. So let's pop the croutons in the top.
It's a wonderful contrast of colours here.
Nice colours. Thanks. Put those in, and just to serve it, I'm going to pop it on these dishes. And here we have my tomato and pepper soup, the smoked aubergine croutons. And if you want, for fanciness, you can always put a few chives on the side just to make it look really pretty. Bit of grass. There we are. That's it, finito. Tom, thank you so much for coming today. Have a taste of this soup that we made earlier.
Well, it looks great. Love to.
That's all we've got time for today on No Meat Required, but please join me next time for some more great tasting food. How's that taste? Good.
It's fantastic.